What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to another video, and in this video we're going to be doing a dinosaur tier list video with all of the official dinos, and we're going to be ranking them within tiers. So god tier, high tier, mid to low tier, and then F tier. Keep in mind this list is just my opinion. Some of you guys get offended when my opinion is different than yours, and you start to get toxic with me in the comments. You guys are just weird for that. If we have difference of opinion, just share your opinion below, but you don't have to get rude about it, because obviously when it comes to a game like this, people are going to have different opinions all around. Also, this tier list took me forever to set up, so if we could hit that thumbs up on this channel, if you guys enjoy it, that would mean a lot and definitely help the video overall. The first one we're going to be ranking is the Alioramus. Now the Alioramus I think is pretty average, but I don't think he's the best. But from the stories I did hear about him from people that play him more, he can be pretty good, but also pretty squishy. So I'm going to just put him in the mid tier for right now. Opinions may change in the future if I play more with him, but yeah, we're going to put him in the mid tier. Next we have the Allosaurus. Now Allosaurus was the first dino I ever got to adult, the first dino I played, and he's really fun in packs and in groups, and I feel like they can be very good. Now what really comes in handy for him is his speed, him able to get away, him able to do, you know, bites and run, not get caught. So I'm going to put the Allosaurus at mid tier for now. I was kind of debating putting him at mid to low tier, but like I said, in packs he can be pretty good, so we're just going to keep him at mid tier. Next up, we have the Kirito. I think I would say his name. I butchered these names so bad. I know in my other video I called him Sierra, and you guys roasted me for that. But yeah, this little guy, I'm not sure where he would belong, because I think he's a little bit weaker than the Metri. I guess this one's just more of my personal opinion, but I will just say mid to low tier. I just think when you compare them to the Metri or the Conch, I think they have a little bit of an edge over this guy. So yeah, we're going to keep him at mid to low tier for right now. Next up, we have the Conch. Now the Conch is really fast. He's really good in packs, and he can be very effective. Now, do I think he can use a little bit of tweaks and buffs? Hell yes. But do I think he's strong enough to be high tier? Nah, not really. Maybe mid tier when in packs, because I went against a group of Conchs when I was a T-Rex, and in packs these things can be fast, they can be deadly, so we're just going to keep them in mid tier for right now. Next up we have the Dasp. Now the Dasp is pretty much like a mini T-Rex. I'm going to have to put him in mid to low tier. He's just not really as strong as the other ones. I just think he's very underwhelming. He can do a lot better. Even though he has the same moveset as a T-Rex, I feel like he's still very weak, and I have to put him in low tier. Next up, we have the little feathered raptor. I don't know how to say his name, but you guys know exactly who I'm talking about. The little raptor that can basically take no fall damage, and can run around really fast and be very annoying, ankle biter. But I'm gonna put him in mid tier. I don't think he's high tier, so we'll just put him in mid tier. You guys know how I feel about the little tiny dinos like this, but yeah, mid tier is as high as I would put him. Next, we have the Latin, which I kind of like to put next to the feathered raptor, because I feel like they're kind of same on the same level as far as like speed and everything. Even though the Latin can take more fall damage than the feathered raptor, I feel like they're pretty much up to par. A lot of these dinos are more mid tier if anything. But next up we have the Meg. Now when I did my ranking carnivores video, you guys got mad at me because I put the Meg all the way low on the list, and you guys are saying he's a lot better. Now I know he has the venom bite, and if the venom was actually stronger, then he can be very effective, and he would definitely be high tier because he has good speed, and in groups these things can really take down any big predator. But for right now, we're going to put the Meg in mid tier, but if they ever buff the venom effects on dinos, then he would be high tier for sure. Next up, we have the Metri. Now, the Metri I personally love. I think he's perfect in packs. He has a good moveset, good damage, and good stats overall. I'm going to place him in high tier. I feel like for a small dino like that, he can be really effective and strong against bigger predators. So I'm going to keep him in high tier. Just my opinion right there, but yeah, he has to go there. Next, we have the Sarco. Now, I think the Sarco, I'm going to put him in high tier. I know some of you might fight me on that, but I overall think he's very good. I think his lunge attack is good. Once the water updates come out to where the water mechanics are going to be a little bit different and stuff, I think the Sarco is actually going to be a lot better. Next up, we have the Spino. Now, I think it depends on what build you have. If you have a speed Spino or a defense Spino, can really make all the difference. Now, although the Spino has the same health as a T-Rex, and he has a pretty decent moveset with some high claw attack damage, I think if he were to fight other herbs one-on-one, let's say if it was a Spino versus a Trike, or a Spino versus a Duck, or a Spino versus a Bars, I think the Spino will lose most of those fights. So because of that, I just feel like he's pretty weak compared to the other bigger dinos that are his size. I'm going to put him in mid tier for right now. Next, we have the Suko. The Suko, I'm just never been a personal fan of. I just think he's very weak, underwhelming, non-intimidating at all. And I'm going to put him mid to low tier for sure. I just don't really, yeah, mid to low tier. Next, we have the T-Rex, the overused, most overrated dino, the T-Rex that everyone really uses. And obviously in groups, T-Rexes can be very strong. But like I said, if you play a smaller dino and you know how to maneuver around a T-Rex, you can still kill it. But obviously, if we're going over to T-Rex's stats, he has to be high tier for sure. Very strong, very good dino overall. T-Rex high tier, no problem. Next, we have the Dino Suitcase, which is a modded dinosaur, which is the big giant. It looks like a big giant Sarco. Obviously, he's very overpowered to where he's like OP. So we're going to put him in God tier. I need someone to go in the God tier section. He is just very strong overall. Some say he might be broken. But yeah, he's just very fun to play, very intimidating, I just love him. Now we have the Alberta, which I like to call the mini trike. The Alberta can be very good. She does have a good moveset, very strong moveset as well, and can be very good even though despite his small size. So I'm going to put it in high tier because definitely effective and good to have one of these. Next we have the Amarga. Now the Amargasaurus, I just feel like it's very weak. I'm debating F tier or just mid to low tier. Now you would think because of the size that it would definitely be stronger than what it is, but we'll just keep it in the low tier for sure. It could definitely use some buffs, and I feel like it will get the buffs in the future that it deserves, but other than that, very weak and just very underwhelming. Next up, we have the Anki. I just call him the Anki, and even though he's not in official servers right now, he's still in community servers, and based off videos that I've seen and how he is, everyone told me, he's definitely one of the best in the game. He has to go to God tier right next to the Dino Suitcase. So yeah, he deserves that spot until they bring him back to officials. And if they nerf him, I don't know. But then we're going to see how he is then. Next, we have the bars. Now, if you guys watch my channel for a while or my streams, you know the bars is one of my favorite dinos in the game to play with, to fight with. Everything. He is tanky with the most health, 1500 max health in the game. That's more than any other dino. I'm going to have to put him God tier because he can tank a lot of bites. And if you have a herb group going and you have one or two of these in your herb group, they can really be a good support unit, taking a lot of damage and dealing a lot of damage as well with their tail slam. Next, we have the Campto, F tier. Next, we have the Duck. I know a lot of people love using the Duck. He's very intimidating, very strong, but I feel like he can die fairly fast depending on what you're fighting and if you're not careful. Now, obviously, if you're near water, then you can swim away and do some water combat as well as land combat. But when you get ganged up on, I feel like you're bound to die much faster. At least with the bars, when you ganged up on with the bars, he could defend himself more. But with the Duck, once you're ganged up on, you have a more high chance of loot or dying. So that's why I'll put him in high tier, though. He's still very good. Next, we have the Trike, the EO Trike. Now, if I was doing this list before they nerfed his headbutt, he would have been God tier for sure. But even though after the nerf, he is still very strong, especially with sharpened horns. One of the best in the herb category. So we're going to put him in high tier. Obviously, he doesn't below anywhere less than that. Next up, we have the Iguanodon. Now, the Iguanodon has the fastest stamina drain in the game. That means his stamina drains faster than any other dino, which makes your stamina run out really quickly. But he does have one of the best sprint speeds in the game, which kind of makes up for it. And I heard he's semi-good in water as well. But because I don't really see this dino being much effective against some of the bigger predators, we're going to keep him in mid-tier. Next up, we have the Kentro. This is another one you guys got mad at me about when I did my ranking herbivore list because you said he deserved to be much higher. And I asked around and thought whether this guy should be mid-tier or high-tier, and majority said they think he's mid-tier, but he's also very good. So like mid to high tier. But for this video, I'm just going to put him in mid-tier because, you know, you guys are saying he's pretty good. I didn't play him that much. But I'm going to go off. I'm going to believe you guys and just say he's mid-tier. Next up, we have the Lambiosaurus. The Lambio is very good to have on your team. He's a good support dino. And I'm going to put him in high tier. I'm going to tell you why. Because he has an ability or a call that can heal any nearby dinos that's in his group. So if you get into a fight and let's say you get injured and you're at 50% health, he can activate his call and heal you up, and it heals you up very quickly. He's kind of like a medic on your team, and that can come in handy. If you have multiple of these in your group, oh man, you guys can heal up very fast. So he's high tier for sure if you guys want to use one of these as a support. Next up, we have the Stago. Stago I did a video on a few days ago. If it's worth growing, you guys can check that video out. The Stago is very strong. Although there's some tweaks I wish they could change on him to make him a little bit better. Overall, I think he's very good. I would have to say high tier for sure. Next we have the Strutomimus. Yeah, this dino, I think it's like what, the fastest dino in the game. Can be very fun to play, so definitely a fun dino. It's definitely mid tier, not below mid tier. But I don't know if it's high tier. I'm just gonna also put him in mid tier as well. And then last but not least, we have the Styra, which I also call the mini trike, and very strong. He has a good moveset with some good ass speed. So don't let the size fool you because he is very strong. And because of that, we're gonna put him in high tier. Definitely belongs in high tier. And yeah, this is my list, guys. This is all the dinos. We ranked them all. I was thinking about doing the other modded dinos, but I feel like a lot of the modded dinos are possibly broken and they would all go in god tier. So that's why I just stuck it to mostly official dinos. And if you have any other dinosaurs or video ideas that you want me to cover, let me know in the comments because I always read the comments. I love hearing from you guys. I love the feedback. I love the love and support you guys show me. And I appreciate every one of you. Thank you for watching and I hope to see you in my next video. Peace.